Okay. Hi guys, how you doing? Okay. I've welcome back, obviously, to welcome back to Python. We'll continue with arrays and data structures. I probably have sent. I'm going to send an audio note to the WhatsApp group to explain what the updates are. But for this video, I wanted to show you there's something that I specifically want you to do. I couldn't figure out any assignments on structures and simple data structures in Python. So I stumbled upon LeetCode where I found some things that I think might be interesting. So this is easy, this is medium, and this is easy. I mean, jump game might be a bit difficult. I've not actually done this, but I will take a look at it eventually. So for instance, I'm going to upload, for a task, I'll give you a link on LeetCode that you view. I recommend that you create an account. That should be easy for you to do. Once you open it in your browser, you open the link in your browser, you would see a sign up button that you can click. When you click the sign up button, you fill in the information and all that. So you don't have to sign up, obviously. There are two ways to go about this. First of all, you can just look at the questions and then open a Python code in your own terminal and then solve it in your terminal. But the major difference between stuff like this, LeetCode or Akarank and the rest of them, versus doing it on your own Python script is that they have test cases that they use, like inputs that they use. They always have their own set of inputs. So you could come up with your own set of inputs, or you could go there when you click on the sorry, I need to test case, right? So you could copy, this is their own input, right? You could copy their input and use that to test your script. Or you get more, let's see, I think there's a place where you can run example test case. There should be a place where you can see like a lot of test cases. Okay. So I think this is one test case. I'm sorry, I think this is it. These are the two test cases and input rather that you can use. So you can either write your own Python script and then borrow the input they have, or write your own Python script and then create your own custom inputs. Whichever case, when you send the assignment, I would obviously now test with my own set of inputs. So it's fine. The only reason why I'm saying inputs is because you want to first test studio code run. So you can either use yours or go on LeetCode and then borrow whatever they have. Right? You could also, instead of typing it locally, you could type it on LeetCode, that's in this terminal here. And when you run code, what happens is that it runs with the test case, and then when you click on the arrow and you run the example test cases, it's run with the example test cases. You could also submit your code. You could also submit your code and it will give you some kind of results. So in this case, wrong answer. It will also tell you how much time your code spent, how much memory it used. So this is, remember I spoke to you guys about algorithm and data structure, about how you optimize your code to spend less time while minimizing memory. So that's one of the good things about LeetCode. It will tell you if you spent a lot of time versus the memory you've used. So you can either decide to solve your problem here on LeetCode's terminal or you solve it locally. Either ways, I would grade it myself. All right. So I think that's pretty much it about LeetCode. I would upload all of these links to the assignments for you to do. I would obviously send them to you. You can find out more by clicking problems. There are many more problems there that you can work with if you're interested in going a bit further, or you can go to interviews. I think you can go to interviews, assessments, and stuff like that. So that's just me introducing you guys to LeetCode. And I'm saying that because I'm going to introduce new assignments to this, as they will be like a source of some of the assignments we'll be doing. Before I leave, let me explain what Theomos is about. There's a sequence, just like how we had Fibonacci series. There's a sequence called Theomos sequence, and essentially, I want you to generate a list of the list of term up to an nth term. It's pretty straightforward, pretty much like what we did. Once you watch the video, you understand the idea. I mean, it might be a bit more tricky solving it, but I feel like most of you will be able to get it. Transverse matrix is for most of us that did engineering or matrices generally, you would probably have a kind of good idea of what this is. Basically, I would give you a set of inputs, again, a 2 by 2 matrix. So what you see here is like it's a 2 by 2 matrix. Some of us know that. But in Python, you write that by saying So in this case, for instance, the matrix would be to be a list of lists. So we have 1, comma 2, comma 3. So excuse me. Then the next row will be 4, comma 5, comma 6. And the next row will be 7, comma 8, comma 9. So that's the matrix. That's how you represent the matrix in most languages. I mean, in Python anyway, but most languages have a kind of data structure that you can work with. But the point here is for this simple matrix, we are going to do it as one to list of list. Okay. Now, what I want you to do is to convert this matrix, write a script that will convert this matrix, that would transverse the matrix so that your new matrix or a different, if you have a different variable, will now be 7, comma 4, comma 1, 8, comma 5, comma 2, 9, comma 6, comma 3. So that's what I'm expecting. I hope that's clear. So you can see that the row here 789 becomes the last row here becomes the first column. The second row becomes the second column. The third row becomes the first row here becomes the last column. So if you check out the second example, it's pretty much the same thing as well. This row becomes, the last row becomes the first column, the third row becomes the second column, the second row becomes the third column, and the first row becomes the last column. So I hope that explains it. Charles Matrix. I was going to give you two sums. I'm actually looking for it. I would get you more information about that. But I'll upload all of the assignments in a few minutes. And if you have any questions, we can have a kind of quick session on Thursday or so to talk about it. All right. With that said, thank you for listening. Have a good day today, and I really hope that we can get back to the way we were before. Cheers.